You think your hypersensitivity is a flaw, a mistake of nature that makes you vulnerable to the attacks of others. You are wrong. What you carry inside is not a wound. It is a weapon. In psychology, this is called traumatic intelligence. It is the rarest form of genius, forged in total darkness as a brutal survival mechanism. Society told you that you were broken. They lied. They are simply afraid of the predator you have become, so you would never be prey again. Here are the 7 signs you possess this superior intelligence and why it is your most lethal advantage. You feel it every time you walk into a room. That immediate scan. You do not look at people, you dissect them. You hear what they are not saying. You see the micro-expression of contempt before they even smile. This is not paranoia. This is emotional alchemy. You have learned to convert your pain into psychological night vision. As Arthur Schopenhauer wrote in The World as Will and Representation, suffering is the sine qua non condition of spiritual depth. You did not read that in a book, you lived it. Every wound, every betrayal, every room where you were underestimated, it was forging something inside you that most people will never possess. Here are the 7 signs, not as comfort, as a reckoning. Sign 1, hypercognitive vigilance. You do not notice details, you weaponize them, you predict betrayals before they happen. Your brain is a fortress running simulations of every threat scenario. Others call it anxiety, you call it strategy. Pure, cold strategy. Sign 2, mask detection. You spot insincerity in 1 second. The parasite who flatters to obtain, the predator hiding behind false humility. Your traumatic intelligence built a ruthless filter. You do not see faces, you see intentions. But possessing this intelligence comes at a price that 99% of people could never pay. What you are about to hear is the sign that has cost you the most relationships, the most sleep, the most peace. Sign 3, total energy withdrawal. When someone tries to manipulate you, you do not shout. You do not justify yourself. You become a mountain, cold, unreachable. You apply what Sima Yi called the shadow of silence. You withdraw every emotional calorie from your adversary until they exhaust themselves alone. Sign 4, solitude as fortress. You do not feel lonely. You feel safe. Solitude is not a void. It is your arsenal. It is where you sharpen your mind without the noise of fools. Like Schopenhauer, you prefer the dignity of isolation to the humiliation of mediocre company. Most people see your withdrawal as coldness, as damage. They are wrong. They are reading the symptom and missing the system. You are not broken. You are optimized for an environment that tried to break you. Sign 5, tactical empathy. This is not kindness. This is vulnerability reading. You feel others' emotions not to heal them, but to know exactly where to strike if necessary. You are the lion who knows every heartbeat of its prey and chooses, most of the time, not to strike. Sign 6, the silence of certainty. Ordinary people argue to prove they are right. You do not argue. You wait. You already know the truth before the conversation begins. Your silence is not weakness. It is the calm of someone who has already won. Sign 7, emotional immunity. You have been hurt so deeply that ordinary pain no longer reaches you. What destroys others becomes background noise to you. This is not numbness. This is armor, built from every wound you survived and refused to let define you. The world is full of technically intelligent people, high scores, fast processing, perfect answers in safe environments, and they fall apart the moment someone moves against them without warning, without rules, without mercy. You do not fall apart. You have been preparing your entire life, not by choice, but by necessity. Every betrayal was a calibration. Every silence forced on you sharpened your patience into something surgical. Every time you were underestimated, you were collecting data. Traumatic intelligence is a crown of thorns. It makes you a stranger in a world of blind sheep. It makes small talk feel like an insult. It makes you watch people perform emotions you stopped performing years ago because you learned what those performances actually cost. But understand the trade. You do not get manipulated the way they do. You do not hand your loyalty to people who have not bled for it. You do not mistake politeness for safety or volume for truth. These are not small advantages. These are the differences that determine everything. If you recognized at least 4 of these signs, you are part of the invisible elite, not the loudest, not the most comfortable, the most prepared, the ones who see the room before they enter it. Do not let anyone extinguish your green light. Subscribe to Blind Spot for the ones who see what others refuse to look at.